Peace, family. I got something that I woke up with on my mind this morning. It was about how your identification has to be the successor of your ideas. And why I came up with this is I was just thinking about how one day I got pulled over by the police. And the first thing that the police asked me was, what was I doing in the neighborhood? And it wasn't in the neighborhood I'm living in Georgia. This was right before we moved from out of Maryland. And when the officer looked at my license, at the time I only had my CDL permit. And the first thing that he said, well, you know, you only got a permit, right? And I said, well, yes, I'm aware. But I'm also aware of the fact that the setup that I have right now does not require that I need my actual license. And he said, so you actually live around here. And what I got out of that message was that who I appeared to be wasn't so much in alignment with the people who fit the identification of where the address was. But immediately after that, he said, you go on and have a good day, sir, and you keep doing good business. And I took that with a grain of salt. And I moved on with my day. But then it made me think of something, that how many of us out here are receiving treatment based off of the ideas that other people get off of you for what they see without first validating your ID. See, ladies and gentlemen, your ID is your identification purposes. Tells your name, tells how old you are, weight, height, where you live, and what's your privileges. Now, your ideas are the thoughts that you come up with to align yourself with your ID. Now, the image that you give off is the direct response of your intentions from your ID, from your identification. But how people perceive that image is not based off of your ideas. It's based off of theirs. So since I understood that, I intentionally clothe myself in the garments of what it is that my ID interprets. See, because the officer had been following me for a while. And maybe it could have been the fact that I did not dress in the image of my ID or in the image of the community that I was on my way to. Maybe it was because of it that allowed someone else to have the idea that I did not belong. So, I have many reasons as to why I dress the way that I do nowadays, why I carry myself the way that I do nowadays, why I talk like how I do nowadays, why my body language, my aura is the way that it is nowadays, my personality is the way that it is nowadays. There are many reasons, but one of those reasons is to be in alignment with my natural ID and not just the ID that I've received from the DMV. See, I have a natural ID of being God-fearing. I have a natural ID of walking upright. I have a natural ID of delivering on dominance. I have a natural ID to be determined. Have a natural ID to be merciful within the particular things. Having attention to detail. So therefore, when I expose myself to the public, you get to see me for my ID. And if you understand what I'm saying, I'm asking you to see value within aligning yourselves within the image of your natural ID, because you will go on to get more of the longer term results that you desire in life when you are in alignment with your natural ID. Because you attract not the opposite of who you really are, but you attract the like of who you really are. And I know that they say opposites attract, but you have to look at that with a fine magnascope. And the reason why I say that is because I attracted someone to question me because I looked like a question mark. You get what I'm saying? I attracted someone to question who I was because I looked and appeared like a question mark. And I knew that regardless of the fact that it wasn't verbally communicated, I told myself that from this day forward, my natural ID, baby, is going to be showed with intentionality. You will know what I stand for. You will know what I represent. And I'm going to serve it to you in many different ways. You'll see me out in public. You'll hear about me in private. You'll see it from the clothing that I wear. You'll hear it from my arts. You'll see it in my arts. You'll see it in my work. You'll see it in the way that I collaborate within society. It has to be on a full-time continuity. No lacking when it comes to showing who you are. I know that there are some people that's out in the world that wants to be a chameleon and maybe just blend in everywhere that you go, having no real substance. If it works for you, so be it. But what works for me is showing up in my natural form. That way I know where I'm welcome and I know where I'm not. And I don't have to spend time guessing as to if the place that I come to show value is ready to receive the value that I have to give. And I want to leave you all on the note of realizing the importance between ID, idea, and ideal. Because every great idea might not be ideal. Sometimes I have an idea to hop on my dirt bike, ride my dirt bike up and down the street. But it's not ideal. Does not fit within the standards of the community that I'm in. And I could challenge that ideal, but what good does it do for me? I can go back into the environment where people are doing just what the idea was. And it'll be ideal. It'll be what's expected in those areas, in those hoods. See, but as you seek to walk upright and do what's ideal, you'll go on to have better ideas that not only resonates with your ID, but it also resonates with your intention. And intentionality has everything to do with your involvements. So you can go on to have all of the good intentions that you want. Because I know that there are plenty of people whose lives have been taken, slain, not given second chances, all because they wanted to act out on their idea of being sometimes in the wrong places, in front of the wrong faces, at the wrong times. And they thought it was ideal. And for the ones who are not here to speak for themselves because their lives might have been taken, I just wonder if they knew what I know now, would they have aligned themselves in the image of their natural ID? To allow them more life, would they? Because I would like to think that almost everybody that's here will love to enjoy life for as long as they can. I don't think any of us want a premature role in life. I don't think any of us want to find ourselves coming up short on life all because we did not show up in the image of who we really was. I would love to believe that our actions, what we choose to do every day, is what aligns us to who we want to become. That our intentions are directly related to our involvements, and what we seek to give attention to, what we demonstrate that we give attention to, is who we evolve into. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin today to give our attention to the areas, to the people that not only deserve it, but to the people who we were put here on earth to make better. And the way that we are going to do that is by involving ourselves within the practices of what our intentions are. If our intentions are to become better, to do better, to show that we are better, then we have to be involved. We have to give our attention to who it is that we need to evolve as. And this is my presentation to you on ID, ideas, and ideal. Peace.